Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. You see the title of the video. So, for you fanboys out there, you're going to kind of get a break this video. Because as you know, I believe that LeBron James is a huge part of the problem with the culture in the NBA. And while I wholeheartedly believe LeBron James himself shares a huge responsibility in what took place at the All-Star game, in this lackluster product that we've had for the past, I would say, at least a decade now. He is not the biggest problem. That's right, fanboys. You better enjoy this video. LeBron James is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is Adam Silver. Adam Silver is the biggest problem in the NBA, and I'm going to tell you why. Here's the thing about entitled people. Entitled people are also users. Meaning they will use you for everything that they can get you for. In life, you have to be wary of certain kind of people. And sometimes those types it's easy to see. Sometimes it's not. But there's always signs that you are dealing with a user. And here's the test. If you give someone an inch, they take a mile. Ultimately, they take a mile. Now, when you give someone an inch, they probably don't start off by taking a mile. You give them an inch, they take a couple of inches. You give them another inch, they take a few more inches. You give them another inch, then they're like, oh, he's going to keep giving me inches. I'm going to take a foot this time. Keep doing it. I'm going to take a yard. And before you know it, this person is getting you for everything that you can be gotten for. That is because people who are entitled and users are very closely related. And here's the deal. You do not fix someone who is using you by continuing to give them more. By thinking, oh, well, if I do it this time, maybe he's using me because I just haven't given him enough already. Or maybe she's using me because I haven't given her enough already. And if you don't know how to control these situations, you will find that at the end of the day, you wind up just as broke or in just as bad of a place as the person you are trying to help. Now, I said all that to say this. Adam Silver is soft. Adam Silver is soft. And this is the reason why the NBA is in the shape that it is, because he's giving these entitled players too many inches. He's giving these entitled players too many inches, and they have now got enough miles to walk to Canada. See, here's the thing. They keep on. Matter of fact, I was watching. I can't remember what show it is now. It was maybe it was First Take or something. But anyway, it had all the people that I could care less for. But sometimes you got to watch to get some content, to see what's going on, to see how these people are thinking, and to see what narratives they are continuing to push. So I was watching ESPN, one of those shows. Kendrick Perkins was on there, and they were, again, talking about the All-Star game, because that has been the talk of this week since it was such a terrible display and a slap in the face to the fans. And they were discussing what it's going to take to fix the All-Star game. Now, I think anybody who is rational understands there is no fixing the All-Star game or fixing the NBA unless you put somebody at the top who is willing to do some extreme things to hold these players accountable. But Kendrick Perkins says, hey, money, that's what we need to do. You know, make it $500,000 or $1 million. That's going to solve the problem. That's going to give them something to compete for. And I don't necessarily disagree momentarily, but that is putting a Band-Aid on the problem. Again, if you're a competitor, then you compete. You know, again, going back to Michael Jordan, when he broke his foot, you know, when he had a real foot injury, you know, you fanboys probably don't know what a real foot injury is. But when he had a real foot injury, a potential career-ending foot injury, and, you know, he would miss most of the season, they wanted him to tank the season so that they could get a better draft pick. And Michael Jordan said, to me, that just shows a losing mentality, not only for the coaches, but for the front office. You play to win. If you're going to be on the court, you play to win. And I think Michael Jordan's attitude is what permeated the Chicago Bulls team and front office and everything else. It was Michael Jordan who set the tone for the front office. He said, look, we're not going out here and losing games just so we can get a better draft pick. The way you win is by establishing a pattern of winning. The way you win is by showing that you are not willing to give up. Ever. So, anyway. So, yeah, Kendrick Perkins says it's throwing more money at him. And I feel like, yeah, that may be a temporary fix for the next, 2 to 3 years until the salaries get, so much more exorbitant that, again, whatever $500,000, $1 million is not enough anymore to convince these players to compete. And again, if you have real love for the game, it doesn't take money to make you compete. I mean, can we be real for a second? Can we stop? Can mainstream media stop capping with this whole money thing? Because the players of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, they weren't playing for money. Again, going back to the 60s, a lot of them had day jobs and still played. So when you love something, you're not doing it for money. So if money is the constant answer in this new WWE, then again, everything's already messed up. But yeah, so that's Kendrick Perkins' suggestion. But here's the thing, is like everything, and then so I also heard that Adam Silver was severely disappointed at this All-Star game. He had spent the whole week talking it up, saying how it's going to be more competitive. Adam Silver, no one in the NBA respects you because your answer to everything is to keep trying to give the players more and more. When at this point, they need to get less and less. It's like you keep trying to do less and less work. You need to receive less and less money. Here, I got an idea. You guys let me know what you think about this in the comments. I mean, because the NBA is in shambles. We need an extreme solution. Here's one of my ideas. Contracts should be on a year-to-year basis. No more long-term contracts for any player. It's on a year-to-year basis. And if you get a big contract one year and you miss 20 games, then your next year will be significantly lower. If you consistently do good, then you will consistently get great contracts. But I think it should be on a year-to-year basis. Y'all let me know what you think about that. But yeah, it's like Adam Silver keeps trying to fix these problems by giving the players more and more of what they want, when they have shown you that the more that you give them, they're just going to keep asking for more. They're getting more salaries. Now it's too many games to play. Now they want shortened seasons. Now it's too many back-to-backs when they've already ended a lot of back-to-backs that used to happen. Stretching out the season even more. You know, they don't want to play in the All-Star game. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They don't want to have to play 65 games to qualify to be on, I think the first teams and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're just asking for more and more the more that you give them. So until we get a commissioner at the top, and for whatever you said about Davis, here's something else I want to say. Nobody respects someone who is a pushover. You don't get respected. So as much as people may have had problems with David Stern, and I think I just recently saw, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Chris Broussard, but don't quote me on this. It might have been Chris Broussard who was talking about he didn't like the fact that David Stern was so strict about the dress code. And I'm like, you know, when you're making millions of dollars, who cares if it's a dress code? Especially if you're talking about, you know, showing up at the arena. Who cares if you need to show up to the arena in a suit or at least dress nicely if you're making millions of dollars? Now, outside of the NBA time, you do what you want. But my point is, there's a lot of people who didn't like Commissioner Stern for different reasons. And I'm not saying I particularly liked him as a person, but what you do have to respect is that he was not a pushover. He was not just gonna let you have your way. He was just not gonna, he was not gonna let things get out of control to where they've gotten now. But anyway, we are going to hold up here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think LeBron James is the biggest problem with the NBA, or do you think Adam Silver ultimately is the biggest problem in the NBA, or maybe you think they're a dynamic duo? Maybe I should have had them together on my poll about the greatest duo of all time. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.